Morning, folks. Welcome back to the Commander's List. If it's your first time seeing this, what I do every week is I offer 12 coins from my retail site. They go live on the retail site at 9 a.m. Pacific, just like the YouTube channel does. And yeah, so if you like it, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the attention. So let's dive in. I'm going to get through this relatively quick compared to what it normally is. At least I always say that, and then sometimes I rattle on too much. I'm going to go see Paul Simon tonight at Frost Amphitheater. Pretty pumped about it. He's getting pretty old, and I figured that if you're going to go watch him, it's probably the last tour that he's going to do. So with that being said, let me address one question that's come up in the last few days, and that is, how do you pick these coins? And so usually it depends on what the status of inventory is. Sometimes I have lots of inventory and I kind of just grab through, the best. I separate everything that, like, Commander's List stuff, and then what I call secondary retail, and then what is wholesale. Most of the stuff is all wholesale. There's a smaller subset then that is secondary retail that is nice coins, but they don't make the Commander's List. Sometimes those coins can be CAC, sometimes they can't. And then there are the coins that are what I consider to be the top 2% of what I handle. So sometimes it's a random draw. Other times, like this week, is I try to find some sort of a theme. And this theme is pretty loose, but it is holders that are not the most popular, but they have nice coins in them. So I guess the exception is the fatties that I'm going to list. But these are NGC and CACG coins. I would say that, CACG is still not really picking up the steam that I would have liked it to. That being said, the coins tend to be pretty darn nice. So let's get going with this 1853 N6 common variety. Newcomb numbers, you can look at them if you get the book, or if you can, the best place to go, I think, for the N, all the really detailed N stuff, the Newcomb stuff, is the Newman Numismatic Portal in St. Louis. Great reference. If you're not using that, you absolutely should be. It could use a little bit of tweaking from an overall usability standpoint, but what a great resource that Eric Newman, a St. Louisan like myself, left the numismatic community. All right, so 1853 N65 brown, really choice coin. The only thing that I tell people about braided hair large cents, they're very common. They're a great type coin. You can find them in red, brown. You can even find them in red. Red, they get pretty expensive. But there's two different types, what I consider, of brown. There is light brown, which is kind of what this falls into, and then there's like a deep sort of like toned, like almost like a dark chocolate bar brown. I don't really care much for the chocolate bar brown, the deeper one, unless you get some like greens and stuff in them. I tend to like the lighter camel color. This is like in between, I guess, but it does have some of the green toning. It's a nice original coin. It's never more than a 5. It doesn't have enough luster to get up to a 6 or a 7. It's a clean coin. No real marks, but this is what I would consider to be a 65B coin. CPG is $1,000. They don't really trade for that, so I'm offering it $100 under price guide, which is $900. All right, I'm 4 minutes in. I'm not going fast. I'm completely going against what I'm supposed to be doing here. So let's move on to the next one. 1871, tougher date, shield nickel, NGC 65 CAC. This coin's got a great obverse, I'd say 65 plus. Let's look at the reverse. Grade limiting. I would say that the reason why, there's a little bit of a fleck there. The reason why this coin did not 6 or even have a shot at it is the reverse. Just not quite enough luster. Very clean though, kind of some pastel toning, very common on shield nickels. This is also common. See this blobby stars, pretty typical. Nickel's a hard metal. It was rough on the dies. One of the fun things to do if you're a shield nickel collector is just to look at all the different die cracks on coins. This one only has one coming out of the one. I think it goes underneath the date. This is a tough coin. So, you know, proofs come more available than the mint states. Coast to Coast has a 66 CAC NGC for $5 grand. I'm offering this at $26.50. It seems like a good price point. And if you check out all of the auction records, you'll see that it's pretty much in line. CPG is $2,700, so I'm 50 bucks under CPG. Tough coin when you're looking for it, believe it or not. Not a lot of people collect shield nickels. Collect the stuff that you like and the stuff that you like that is out of vogue. Speaking of shield nickels, bought this coin raw the other day, sent it into CACG. I think proper grade. A lot of times I complain about the CACG grading. This coin's very original. It's like it sat in an envelope. In fact, I think I got it out of an envelope. Nice looking piece. 72s are also tough. Not super tough, but they're not easy. I'm asking $375 on this. The obverse definitely faces up like a 4. I don't think it is a 4 though. The reverse again, just reverses for whatever reason tend to really hold these things back. They get a little bit dullish. Stars are great on that one though. $375. I think that's right. I think it's a little bit above CPG, but I think these things are kind of dumb underpriced for how tough they are. All right, another nickel, CACG. Another coin I bought raw. This was the only toned coin in a group of buffaloes. It was an entire set of buffaloes, and everything else was white except for this one. I was like, wowzers, especially on the reverse. Gorgeous toner. Like, this is what a lot of people look for when they're trying to find and cherry pick toners. 28D is not a super hard date. I think this coin could have been a 4. Nice luster. It's a little soft on the front though. Decent strike for a 28D. That's nice. Better than the one that I sold last week, and not quite as probably nice technically, but beauty, man. That is just a great looking coin. This coin is 550 bucks, and it's all because of the toning. You know the story. All right, 1942 dime, common, blast white. Made lots of these, thousands of proof dimes. 1942. This is the ultimate type coin. If you're, and it's the last real year of issue of Mercury proofs. So it's numismatically significant in that regard, at least. 65 CAC, 275 bucks. We are speeding up now. Oh, this is one of my favorite coins in the group. Okay, and I am gonna talk about this a little bit. 1915S and an old fat slab CAC holder. Really sublime toning, original. Coin faces up very nice. Definitely on the border of a 6. Not a lock though. There's a little toning spot right there, hidden in the hair, but just want to point it out. You can see the pinks and yellows and oranges and little blues around the periphery. So let's talk about 15S. There are certain coins that really bother me about why they're priced the way that they are. 14S's are one of those. So they've got a mintage of like 250,000 or something, about 3 times less, or I guess the 15S has a 3x times mintage than the 14S. They sell for multiples more. The 14S sells for so much more. So I did a quick little research because this always bothers me and I wanted to talk about it. I don't sell a lot of 15S's either. So the CAC population of 14S's, which have a mintage of 250,000 versus about 750,000 for this one, the CAC population is 4 times as high. And it's probably just because it just makes more sense to send the coins in, I guess. But I don't find this coin any more rare. or the 14S any more rare than the 15S, and it sells for so much less. So, and I think in 65 and higher, there are 9 in CAC for the 14S, and there are 16 in 65 and higher for the 15S. This is an old fat slab holder. One tiny little hollows coming off right there. I just want to point that out. This coin is it's just super cool. If you're a fat slab guy, and if you like barbers, and if you like value compared from a relativistic standpoint, $1,850, and this coin is yours, and you'll always love it when you pull it out. All right. We'll go through these next ones fast, I promise. 1922 Grant. If you haven't watched the documentary on Grant in Netflix, what a great documentary. West Pointer, as an Annapolis guy, I'll tip my cap. Funny enough, though, his dad applied for him to get into West Point. He didn't even know what it was. Got into West Point, and his middle name is not, it does not begin with an S, by the way. It begins with an H, and they screwed it up, and it just stuck with him. So anyway, $350 for the Grant. This coin I love. Virgin Original, NGC Fatty, kind of that natural haze, but not like to the point where it's really detracting from the luster coming through and the proof fields. This coin is really nice. I sent it in without the CAC sticker. I thought it had a shot at gold. This is kind of like the look that the collectors of these like. I think if it would have been just a little bit less hazy, could have. This coin is easily a 7, $1,200. That might be a little bit expensive, but with the fat slab holder, perfect shape, CAC sticker, and the way it presents, I think it's worth every penny. 1939, well, a lot harder than a 42, but. All right, what's next? Oh, also a cool coin. 1896. This coin is fully PL. I wouldn't quite call it dimple, but it's close on the obverse. Beautiful toning, probably imparted from the holder. It's probably coin went in there white. Reverse, not PL, so that's why it didn't PL, but great toning. Perfect holder on this, on the hollow as well. Just love this piece. I priced it strong because it just faces up like just with so much flash, and the color, it's got the exact sort of look with the peripheral toning, target toning. $350, a lot of coin for the money. All right, nice collector coin here, 1901. This is one of those coins that gets brutal to find in higher grade. 40's fine. Yeah, could be a 45. Doesn't matter. Great battleship gray. Still a little luster all along the devices and the protected areas. CPG is 310. I've got this priced at 325. And an older CACG holder. I'm glad they changed it. I'm not a huge fan of the green. I mean, I like the green sticker there, but I like how they made that bigger, and I like how the new holders don't scuff as bad. And this is another common coin, but they're popular. 1906, 2.5, Mint 64 CAC, $950. Nothing more than a 4, but it's good eye appeal, and they're popular. The little run from 1899 to 1907 is fun to collect, put together. Little copper spot right there, attesting to its originality. And the last one, type 120, with nice color and relatively low abrasions in the fields. 53 CAC, agree with the grade. CPG is $62.50, offering this at $5,700. So what is that? About, I don't know, $1,500 over melt. It's fun to do the whole P-Mint run of type 1s. 50 is one of the toughest ones. 59s are tough. Anyway, we can talk about that later. I've been droning on for 15 minutes. Like I said at the beginning, if you like this, hit the subscribe button. If you want to buy any of these coins, just send me any timestamp message, including a timestamp on the video in the comment. And I guess that's about it. I'm really looking forward to seeing Paul Simon tonight. And until next week, happy hunting.